Coming up first tonight, police are actively investigating the country's latest murder. This after a shooting in the White Road off St. James Road area leaves one man dead. Plus, several students now in police custody. This after a brawl outside the Mall of Marathon went viral last week. And then the Bahamas Christian Council is weighing in on a slate of events set to celebrate Pride Month next month in the capital. And then in our news at 7:30, the BUT president says her members have been left in the dark and left out of the upcoming pay increase for civil servants. We've got the details for these stories and so much more as our news live at 7 starts now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. A man is dead and 2 others injured tonight following a brazen daylight shooting in the Kemp Road community. Police say the incident happened just before 3 this afternoon near St. James and Kemp Roads. The shooting happened as children were headed home from school. According to investigators, 3 men were gathered in a yard when masked gunmen approached and opened fire. Police press liaison Chief Superintendent Sharia King was at the scene this afternoon and provided these details.
Masked men approached these men that was in the yard at the gathering and opened fire on these men, hitting one of those men who is in his early 20s and is presently in critical condition at the hospital. That victim was transported to hospital in private vehicle. As these masked men were leaving, they continued firing in the direction, hitting 2 other victims, fatally wounding one who is in his mid-50s and injuring another male who is in his early 70s. The male in his 70s is in stable condition at the hospital. He was transported to hospital via EMS personnel.
A 40-year-old man is behind bars accused of molesting his stepdaughter for almost 3 years. The man, whose name has been withheld to protect the child's identity, faced charges of unlawful sexual intercourse and indecent assault when he stood before Magistrate Abigail Farrington. Prosecutors say the man began molesting the girl in January 2021 when she was 11. The molestation allegedly continued until August 2023, when she was 14. The accused was not required to enter pleas to the charges. Bail was denied and he returns to court on January 20th, 2026 to receive voluntary bill of indictment papers. A shooting has left a New Providence man in hospital tonight after he was ambushed at his home by 2 gunmen. Sometime around 9 last night, ShotSpotter technology alerted officers to the Quarry Mission Road shooting, where they found the victim suffering from gunshot wounds. Police say the victim had just arrived home when he was approached by 2 masked men who emerged from a track road. They shot at the victim before running from the scene. The victim was transported to the hospital by private vehicle and was listed in serious condition up to news time. Several students who were involved in a brawl outside the mall at Marathon last week have been taken into custody. Head of the school policing unit, Assistant Commissioner of Police Chaswell Hanna, was asked about the viral video on the sidelines of an event today. The video shows nearly 8 dozen students fighting outside the mall as others filmed the chaos. Hanna says while violence at schools has trended downwards and school resource officers were placed back on campuses, not every incident can be stopped. When it comes to off-campus violence, the veteran officer had this to say.
Since the reintroduction of the school policing program, we've seen a dramatic decrease in school incidences. So we're going to get 1 or 2 from time to time. That was one of them. Police officers were right there, and we took a number of juveniles in custody. And then this is where our second chance program comes in. Because if we all are honest, from time to time we had a little fist fight or shoving match in school. That doesn't mean you have to lose your rights and privileges.
Well, the National Accreditation and Equivalency Council of the Bahamas is speaking out tonight following the tragic death of a toddler at a private school in Grand Bahama on Friday. In a statement Monday, the council offered condolences to the family, but also stressed the importance of children only attending registered, safe learning environments. When our news team checked NACOB's website, the school where the incident allegedly occurred, Caring Hands Academy, was not listed among registered institutions. The Ministry of Education telling our news Monday it is closely following the ongoing investigation. We understand the toddler's injuries came after he was struck by an object while on the playground Friday. Now, NACOB says parents can verify a school's registration status online or by contacting their office directly. Pride Bahamas, an organization concerned with social justice and empowering the country's LGBTI plus community, will host a series of events from October 7th to the 13th to celebrate Pride Month. A flyer circulating on social media recently with a list of events and their dates. There's an official Pride Week opening at Hillside House on October 7th. Other events include sensitization sessions, a health and wellness session, a human rights march and fun day scheduled for October 12th, and Pride Splash Pool Party on October 13th. On the sidelines of Royal Caribbean opening its first office in the Bahamas today, Bahamas Christian Council President Bishop Telton Fernandez shared his reaction to the events.
They're free to plan their events. They have rights, we have rights, and our right is the freedom to speak. And so we thank God that we have that freedom, and we will always speak out when we see wrong.
Well, it's been 6 years since Hurricane Dorian ravaged the island of Abaco, nearly decimating that island's bustling economy. But as our Delvardo Emmanuel tells us in this report, they're bouncing back, but not without challenges.
From busy marinas to fully booked hotels, South and Central Abaco's economy is a far cry from what it was in the months following Monster Storm Dorian in 2019. I recently visited the island where I got to see firsthand. But what's driving the economic recovery? Family Island Administrator for Central and Greater Abaco, Kenwood Cartwright, says he's witnessed firsthand a steady increase in Abaconians starting their own businesses.
Over the past few years, sitting in the office where I sit, I could see the increase in business license applications. Many people opening up their own businesses, getting ready to go on their own and, try to take advantage of the tourism products.
Cartwright says while recovery has been a work in progress, the resilience of residents has carried them through. He admits the trauma of Dorian lingers, but also notes that many have used the tragedy as an opportunity to start fresh.
While some persons still have a dampened spirit when the memories return, etc., there are persons that take advantage of the opportunity just to renew the insight, to renew their visions, and to just have a restart and a reboot on their life itself.
I also spoke to one of the island's 2 MPs about the growth.
I'm very surprised how quickly our economy is growing. We are still missing some of our key components like the Treasure Key Resort, which is going through their diligence to come back online and whatnot. But all in all, everywhere that I see is booming.
Penn admits public utilities are still a concern, but says things are moving in the right direction.
And in soon time, we'll have a very resilient power distribution and generation for Abaco in a whole. Water as well. There's some communities that had been on well pumps before that are being hooked up.
With growing investments, upgraded infrastructure, and an unshakable community spirit, Abaco is charting a course for long-term recovery. Officials say now is the time to invest in the island. Reporting for our news, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
Thanks so much for that, Delvardo. Well, it's time now for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and a happy Tuesday evening, everybody. Another cloudy evening for us on the outdoors. Temperatures a little warmer, 85 degrees outside now. Cloudy, humid conditions. East-northeast winds at 9 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is a very humid 95 degrees. Temperatures right now around the family of islands. 81 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Marsh Harbor, Abaco, 83. 84s in Alistown, Bimini, and in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera. 85s, Great Harbor, Gilberry Islands, Nicholstown, Andros, and here in the capital. Into the Central Bahamas, 85, Kemps Bay, Arthurstown, Cat Island, Georgetown, Exuma, as well as in Deadman's Key. String of 84s in Black Point, Exuma, Port Nelson, Rum Key, and in Coburn Townsend, Salvador, and into the Southeast Bahamas. 86, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Providenciales, Tricks and Caicos Islands, as well as Matthewtown, Inagua, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, Acklands, and Abrahams Bay, Maguana, all 85s. at this hour. Satellite radar composite, we are stuck in this pattern. Cloudy conditions with a lot of moisture still in place. That boundary is not moving very much. So we saw some showers and some thunderstorms, prompting some severe thunderstorm warnings issued by the Department of Meteorology. Have an upper level low, they're spinning just to the east of the southeast Bahamas, but there's a system behind that, a tropical wave that we are anticipating getting into our neck of the woods at the end of the week. This one could see some possible tropical development, so we're asking you to continue to monitor the progress of this system over the next couple of days. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, VJ Adjka makes his return to his college campus, and we talk some more about some baseball. Our Sports at 7 is next.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
NFL season is back, and Kimmel Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Kimmel Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt into Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Sasha Lightborn here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow all of the R News social media pages to make sure that you don't miss those top stories from the team you already trust.
Good evening, I'm Tage Adderley, and for 10th year seniors, and this is Our Sports at 7. VJ Adjka made his return to Baylor University, where he had an outstanding season last year. The 6'4" wing from Bimini accepted his Big 12 Freshman of the Year trophy at halftime of the Baylor football game on Saturday. Adjka had a standout year for the Bears, averaging 15 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, earning himself recognition as the best freshman in the conference. A whole world away, Kai Jones made an appearance for his new team's media day. The 6'11" big man from New Providence represented his new team, Andalou FS, during EuroLeague's media day in Paris over the weekend. Kai spent last season with the LA Clippers, and now he's in the second best basketball league in the world, looking to carve out a big role for himself. And finally, things happened on the diamond over the weekend. Let's check it out. Diamondbacks prospect Christian Robinson drove in the game-winning run for the Reno Aces in their final game over the weekend. His play in the minors has been elite this season, and he showed off his speed, power, and versatility. Will the next step for him be with the big league team? And that does it for Our Sports at 7 p.m. I'm Tage Adderley. Stay locked in to Our News at 7:30 for all these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world. As President Trump tells world leaders uncontrolled migration is the #1 political issue of our time. Plus, Hong Kong shuts down ahead of the world's biggest typhoon this year. Millions are expected to evacuate as authorities issue a Typhoon Signal 8. And then, the U.S. pushes for a larger security force in Haiti as Kenya bemoans unreliable U.S. vehicles. We have the details when our news returns.
And I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going
Well,
on.
I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news you don't want to miss. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to press the notification bell on the WhatsApp broadcast channel so that you don't miss out on all of the real-time updates.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record. We challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button and to follow all of our social media pages. Also, don't forget to push that notification button so that you can see all of the great content from the team you already trust.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. U.S. President Donald Trump argued for lower levels of global migration and urged a turn away from climate change policies in a combative, wide-ranging speech to the UN General Assembly that leveled scathing criticism of world leaders. The 56-minute speech was a rebuke to the world body and a return to form for Trump, who routinely bashed the UN during his first term as president. Leaders gave him polite applause when he exited the chamber.
Not only is the UN not solving the problems it should, too often, it's actually creating new problems for us to solve. The best example is the number one political issue of our time, the crisis of uncontrolled migration. It's uncontrolled. Your countries are being ruined. The United Nations is funding an assault on Western countries and their borders. In 2024, the UN budgeted $372 million in cash assistance to support an estimated 624,000 migrants journeying into the United States. But what took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them.
Hong Kong shut down today ahead of a super typhoon Regasa, the most powerful tropical cyclone this year, packing hurricane force winds of up to 137 miles per hour. Authorities issued the typhoon signal 8, its third highest. More than 700 flights have been disrupted, and authorities have evacuated over 770,000 people. Local authorities handed out sandbags for residents to bolster their homes in low-lying areas, while many people stockpiled daily necessities. Disney CEO and Disney Entertainment co-chair speaking with comedian Jimmy Kimmel over the weekend. The trio reached a decision on Monday to return Kimmel to the air 6 days after his show was threatened with a regulatory probe and suspended over comments he made on the air. Sayakir Chasni reports.
Disney said on Monday that Jimmy Kimmel Live will return to ABC on Tuesday. This comes 6 days after the show was threatened with a regulatory probe by the Federal Communications Commission and then suspended by Disney over comments Kimmel made about conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination. Announcing Kimmel's return, Disney said it had initially suspended production to, quote, avoid further inflaming a tense situation and an emotional moment for our country. The statement went on to say the company felt some of Kimmel's comments in question were, quote, ill-timed and thus insensitive. But the entertainment giant stopped short of an outright apology. Sources familiar with the matter told Reuters that the decision was driven by what was in Disney's best interests, not external pressure from station owners or the FCC. Another source at the company said Disney was also feeling pressure from a campaign mounted by Kimmel's supporters, telling viewers to cancel their subscriptions to the Disney Plus paid streaming service in protest. Google searches for how to cancel Disney Plus spiked to a 12-month high, according to Google Trends. Kimmel is expected to address the issue when his show returns on Tuesday. It's unclear whether he will apologize or be required to curb his commentary. A spokeswoman for Kimmel could not immediately be reached for comment.
Look, he was fired. He had no talent.
U.S. President Donald Trump, who has often pressured broadcasters to drop content he dislikes, celebrated Kimmel's suspension last week and wrongly called it a cancellation. Andrew Colvett, a spokesperson for Kirk's conservative youth organization, Turning Point USA, accused Disney and ABC of, quote, caving to public pressure on X.
The United States sought to build support at the United Nations on Monday for the expansion of an international task force to tackle Haiti's armed gangs, building on a Kenyan-led mission that Kenyan President William Ruto said has struggled with staffing and logistics.
We have been operating at a 40% capacity. Initially, it was expected that 2,500 security personnel would be made available. Unfortunately, they were not made available. I must commend the United States. They did make available logistics, vehicles, but unfortunately, most of the vehicles were second-hand vehicles, and therefore they broke down a lot many times. But at least they stepped up. We didn't, however, get any useful support from any other quarter.
Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was September 23rd. Plus, it was a grand celebration in the Nassau Cruise Port today for Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. We'll tell you why. And then in our news at 7:30, the ORG is weighing in on the government's handling of salary increases for public servants. Those details coming up when our news returns.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt into Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going
Well,
on.
I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news you don't want to miss out. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to press the notification bell on the WhatsApp broadcast channel so that you don't miss out on all of the real-time updates.
On this day in Bahamian history, in 1913, Stafford Lofthouse Sands was born in Nassau, Bahamas. He was a Bahamian businessman, lawyer, and politician, first elected to Parliament in the 1937 by-election representing Nassau City. And on this day in 2013, a deadly blaze ripped through a Miami street home, killing 6 people. The fire broke out around 2 that morning, ripping through the small 4-room wooden home. Then in 2021, the Free National Movement announced they would hold a convention to vote in a new party leader, the first convention for the party since 2016. The party also announced that Dr. Minnis would be stepping down as leader. And for the full details on events that made the day that was September 23rd, be sure to head on over to ournews.bs. Well, it was a day of celebration for Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. The Bahamas was chosen as a stop for RCI's annual President's Cruise on the Utopia of the Seas. And that's not all that was celebrated today. There was also the Baha Bash Party at the Nassau Cruise Port. Countless cruise passengers were treated to the sounds of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band and other Bahamian entertainment, part of a grand celebration at the Nassau Cruise Port. The company also cutting the ribbon for their new office. It's the first in the region. RCI Bahamas President Philip Simon says it proves the company is invested in the Bahamas.
Today, this office stands as a beacon of stability and a testament to our long-term commitment to the Bahamas. This opening shows we are not just here to drop anchor and admire the view. Our company is deeply committed to Bahamian employment, economic growth within the tourism industry, fostering robust partnerships within the community, and preserving the natural beauty of the islands. You have witnessed our commitment over the past 50 years through our constant calls on the Bahamas and our premier destination, Perfect Day at Coco Key.
The company's Royal Beach Club on Paradise Island also set to be complete by the end of the year. President and CEO of Royal Caribbean International, Michael Bailey, says construction of the multi-million-dollar development is on schedule.
For anyone who's ever been in a construction project, everybody knows that you can have an opening date, then you've got to do a lot of praying that you're going to get there on time. So far, the project's on track, on plan. It looks as if it's going to open on time. Our official soft opening date is December the 27th. I was just updated this morning that it's going very well, so it may open even a little few days earlier. And I would love the Royal Beach Club to be open in time for Christmas.
Well, to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, be sure to visit ournews.bs. That does it for our News at 7. Joining us now is our Italia Hall with the latest headlines. Italia.
Megan, coming up, the Grand Bahama Minister sharing details about her recent trip to Africa. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our News at 7:30, salary increases are on the way for thousands of civil servants, but allegedly not for public school teachers. This as the Bahamas Union of Teachers president claims they've been left out. Also, the Bahamas Christian Council president responding tonight to a church deacon's court case for sexually assaulting a young girl. Also, a charter fishing company owner from the United States facing accusations of illegally running his business in the Bahamian waters. We have the latest. And later, weekend weather forcing the temporary closure of the Examinations and Assessment Division. Officials say repairs are underway. The story when our News at 7:30 returns.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.
Somewhere's got a party going on, yeah. Somewhere's got a one-stop shopping here. In the family, community, for me. Southwest Plaza, come shop with us. Shop, shop, we've got some in store. Shop, shop, our prices are right. Come spend the day, bring the family. Southwest Plaza, come shop with us.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, and Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1940.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Well, the Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson weighing in on those salary increases for public servants, but will it impact public school teachers? Wilson says they're not included and claims she's previously spoken to the Prime Minister Davis about the issue. The outspoken union leader's comments come as thousands of civil servants are set to see a bump in pay come December. She's now calling on Davis to keep that promise as she feels her union was circumvented. Our Joshua Williams reports.
Earlier this week, it was revealed government has completed its salary review exercise for civil servants who were not included in previous adjustments. Government budgeting $807 million for wages and salaries in the 2025-2026 fiscal year, compared to $767.9 million in the 2024-2025 fiscal year. Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson claims the Prime Minister, in a meeting earlier this month, promised that teachers would also be included in the salary bump. Fast forward weeks later came a meeting with Ministry of Finance officials, who she says delivered a shocking surprise.
FS Simon Wilson and PS Janice Miller unequivocally stated that the teachers and others were not included in the salary review and would not be receiving any salary increases. And I asked Financial Secretary Simon Wilson if he were the Minister of Finance and the Prime Minister.
The BUT president also claims when she and her team met with the Prime Minister, he instructed certain documents be made available to them.
1, the salary review full report. 2, outline of the cabinet conclusion for the salary review. And 3, the list of teachers and public servants, the categories that they are in, and the amount of raise they will receive.
Wilson says none of this has happened. The BUT president also shutting down Labor and Public Service Minister Pia Glover-Rule's claim that the Bahamas National Trade Union Congress, the umbrella union Wilson also heads, was given clarity on the issue.
When line staff watch middle managers and higher receive salaries, emoluments, and allowances exceeding $120,750 per annum, one wonders.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks so much for that, Josh. Well, the Organization for Responsible Governance is weighing in on the government's handling of salary increases for public servants. In a sit-down interview with Our News, Executive Director Matthew Albury says, while the adjustments are welcome, reforms of this kind work best when civil servants, unions, and other stakeholders are brought to the table early in the process.
If you're going to change a system, it requires all the partners. So it requires making sure that there's information happening and discussions coming from the public sector workers, from the unions, from the ILO, from the Tripartite Council, from the Chamber, from the employers, as well as then from government leadership. And collectively, those conversations are best when they happen early in the process. Often if something is developed and brought forward after the fact, it's harder for folks to take ownership, to see how those things have been developed, to be aware of some of the nuances or challenges, or even identify the opportunities. Yet
And just a correction, that was ORG's executive director. While in June, Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis announced that public servants across all levels were slated to receive pay raises this year. On Sunday, the government announced that civil servants who missed previous adjustments will receive pay raises in December, the December pay period, retroactive to September 1st. Aubrey says that too often policies are crafted behind closed doors and only shared once finalized. He says this makes it harder for workers to embrace the changes and for reforms to succeed long term.
I think it's nothing new for org to talk about, but I don't think that we're seeing the same level of consultative work that happens early enough in the process of the development of policies and the development of programs. And that's every administration that we've seen. Often an issue is identified, a group of folks who are in government come up with some innovative solutions, and then they bring it out to whatever that group is that's most affected, and often it is not received as positively as it is put forward, or the full benefits are not seen the way that they were intended in the development of the policy or the program.
In other news, Bahamas Christian Council President Bishop Delton Fernandez speaking out after a deacon was sentenced to 20 years for sexually abusing a 10-year-old girl. It's a story Our News reported yesterday. Prosecutors say the 59-year-old man became the child's caretaker along with his wife, her maternal aunt, following the death of her mother. But instead of protecting her, the man allegedly raped the child on 3 occasions in January and February of 2023. Speaking on the sidelines of the opening of Afro-Caribbean International's New Providence office, Fernandez says there is no place for this kind of behavior in our country. He added the accused should not be seen as a representation of those entrusted to care for the vulnerable in society.
It's very concerning. If you read the details of the story, he is a convicted felon. I know people highlight that he said he was a deacon, but the highlight of the story was he's already not a trusted member of the clergy in the Bahamas. We stand against that kind of behavior. If it's in the cloth, if it's in the parliament, wherever it is, it's unacceptable. And so that which was meted out to him was due, and we stand against with all that punishment that has been meted out.
An American charter fishing company owner is accused of illegally conducting his business in Bahamian waters. Captain Anthony Young, owner of Florida-based Forever Young Charters, and his spearfishing guide Mason Martel were arrested in a sting operation by officials in Great Harbor Key, Berry Island on September 19th. They are accused of taking 3 people on a charter fishing trip without holding the required license. Young is further accused of operating 2 more illegal fishing charters in the Berry Islands in March 2025. Young and Martel were not required to plead to the charges when they appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto McKinney because they will be tried in the Supreme Court. They were each granted a $7,500 cash bail and will next return to court on December 4th to receive voluntary bill of indictment papers. What appeared to be a simple traffic accident quickly turned into an armed robbery after an unsuspecting motorcyclist was rear-ended during the early morning hours. It happened along the Sir Milo Butler Highway just after 2 a.m. Officers say that's where they met the victim, who told police he was driving a white XTV TZ 125 motorcycle when he was rear-ended by a black Toyota Passo. Following the minor fender bender, 4 men, including a gunman, jumped out of the Passo and demanded the victim's motorcycle. He complied, and the suspects fled in the car and on the motorcycle. While he escaped with his life, the motorcyclist was also injured during the incident. Emergency medical personnel responded to the scene and transported the victim to hospital after he complained of severe pain. His condition was not released by police. Well, wild weather over the weekend prompting the temporary closure of the Examination and Assessment Division's building, the Ministry of Education releasing a statement late Monday advising of the closure. The statement said excessive rainfall over the past weekend caused issues at the Tonic William Darlin Highway building. As for how long the office will shut its doors, the closure begins today and the office reopens on Monday, September 29th. During the closure, a team will be sent in to complete emergency repair work. Well, the rain continues as we saw heavy rain in the capital on this Tuesday, but hopefully things clear up soon. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and a happy Tuesday evening, everybody. Another cloudy evening for us, so if you plan on doing anything on the outdoors, you could see 1 or 2 spotty showers later on tonight. 85 degrees is our current temperature under cloudy skies. East-northeast winds at 9 miles per hour. Feels like temperature, a very warm 95 degrees. Satellite radar composite, we are stuck in this weather pattern. A lot of moisture still in place across the northwest Bahamas, generating some showers and some thunderstorms. Some of those showers are locally heavy, thunderstorms strong to severe, prompting the Department of Meteorology to issue some severe thunderstorm warnings. That will remain in place for the next day or two, but we are watching a system to the east of us, tropical wave that should get into our neck of the woods by Friday. That could possibly become a tropical depression or a tropical storm. So we are asking you to continue to monitor the progress of those systems. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us to look at your extended forecast and the tropics still to come.
Still to come on our news, the Minister for Grand Bahama shares takeaways from her recent trip to Africa for a trade fair. Also, the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce continuing its breakfast series, this time focusing on men and investment, and later public-private partnerships. The phrase comes up often, but is it misunderstood? Tonight, one expert explains what PPPs really mean from his view, and that's all coming up when our news returns.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmares dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Minister for Grand Bahama Ginger Moxie recently returned from Algeria, where she led a Bahamian delegation to the Intra-Africa Trade Fair 2025. Moxie joined world leaders as a keynote speaker during the opening session on global Africa and the diaspora. She also delivered the keynote address at the launch of KNEX, a creative industry platform and one of the partners behind the proposed Afro-Caribbean marketplace in Freeport. Moxie called the mission a success, saying the project represents a game-changing opportunity for the island of Grand Bahama.
I would have represented the Prime Minister and also been on the platform with Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Motley, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Prime Minister Drew, and also Prime Minister Mitchell of Grenada. And the message really was about global Africa. And global Africa is the diaspora and the economic benefits of the diaspora along with the entire continent through trade.
The Afro-Caribbean marketplace, first announced last year, is moving ahead. The project will feature more than 90 outlets with authentic African and Caribbean products and is planned for the site of the Old International Bazaar and Royal Oasis. Minister Moxie says the development of the marketplace will benefit everyone.
I could have selected such an easier location for this, any other location, right? But what we wanted to do as a government was we wanted to be able to deal with a legacy problem. We would have done terms of purchase with all of the owners of the bazaar property, and so that is being finalized with the Attorney General's office. I'm happy to say that, as well as we've been finalizing the acquisition with Harcourt, with the tower and the casino. Now, there's been something recently that occurred in the courts, but we've also been in discussions with the Grand Bahama Port Authority because there have been long outstanding service charges.
While the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce continuing its 6-part breakfast series across the island earlier this month, the focus was on women's health, but the most recent session put a spotlight on men, where the breakfast centered on investment at the global restaurant inside the Castaways Resort. Community Affairs Chairperson at the Chamber, Jacolia Brennan, says it's all about giving Grand Bahamians the tools they need to thrive in the island's growing economy.
A lot of times we don't know what investments are out there, or when we pass away, who really gets our investments. And so we have Derek Newbold from the Grand Bahama Port Authority, we have Magistrate LaQuay Line, and we also have someone from the Bahamas Development Bank, a loan officer, who will be saying how to apply for an investment.
And as she mentioned, the breakfast featured a wide range of speakers, each offering practical advice.
We wanted to show them that, listen, there are different opportunities that you can take advantage of, different opportunities that you can leverage as a result of these projects that are taking place, and position yourself for some sort of benefit.
If someone comes with a small business idea, there's also local funding. One means that is allowed in the Securities Commission is by crowdfunding, which means that if you have an idea, you can garner together a number of investors, and then either by way of some participation and equity or otherwise, you can get a participation in that business. Tropical gyro, for example, is an example.
A lot of Bahamians wait perhaps until the last minute to want to have the opportunity to prepare a will, but there are a lot of ways we can secure our legacy in our lifetime through basic stuff like having a second person signed or name on our bank accounts, naming a person as a beneficiary on insurance.
Well, still on the topic of investment, tonight, an economic expert is weighing in on PPPs, or public-private partnerships. It's a term that comes up often when we talk about major investments here at home. But David Slatter, Vice President and Group Head of Investment at RF Bank and Trust, says the phrase is too often misused. He breaks down what it really means from his perspective.
It's a private-public partnership or public-private partnership. It's not a situation where a private company gets a contract from the government and the taxpayer pays. That's just a contract. And I've heard the PPP misused repeatedly in the press and in certain presentations I've attended. Let me give you an example of a public-private partnership. Private capital is used to build a public asset. The public asset generates cash flow that repays the private investors. The two bridges from PI and Nassau, that's a PPP. Those bridges were built using private capital. The Bridge Authority issued bonds, the private sector bought the bonds. That money was used to build the new bridge and used to restore, repair the old bridge. We pay a toll every time we go over the bridge. That toll is the cash flow that's used to pay the interest on the bonds and used to repay the principal when the bonds mature. That's a PPP. The airport, the Sir Lyndon Pindling International Airport, when it was expanded, that's a PPP. All of the capital that went into the expansion of the airport was private. US dollar and Bahamian dollar bonds are issued, and it's a public asset. They charge passengers a fee every time the passenger uses the airport. That's the cash flow that's used to repay the private lenders of capital. That's a PPP.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Coming up in sports, Vijay Ajka makes his return to campus, Kai Jones makes his first appearance in his new team's threads, and we talk some baseball. Our sports is up next.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern
Welcome to Our Sports at 7:30. I'm Tage Adderley, filling in for 10th year seniors. VJ Edgecombe had an outstanding season for the Baylor Bears last year. Outstanding enough for him to get taken 3rd overall in the 2025 NBA draft. He returned to the campus over the weekend to pick up some hardware. VJ Edgecombe was in Waco on Saturday for Baylor's football game against Arizona State, but he wasn't just there to tailgate with his buddies. The 6'4" wing from Bimini accepted his Big 12 Freshman of the Year trophy at halftime of the game in front of the adoring home crowd. Edgecombe had a standout year for the Bears, averaging 15 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, shooting 43% from the field and 34% from the three-point line. He also had some scoring outbursts, including a 30-point game in a big conference win against Kansas State, and he made 6 threes en route to a 28-point overtime loss to BYU. He also led Baylor to a 20-12 record and a run to the NCAA second round where they fell to Duke and the #1 overall pick Cooper Flagg. He showed his athleticism, instincts, and hyper-competitive edge as well, no pun intended, putting him in position to get taken with the 3rd overall pick in the draft by the Philadelphia 76ers. And now he's going to try to get some buckets in the city of brotherly love. Now we go from Philly to Istanbul, where Kai Jones made an appearance for his new team. The 6'11" big man from New Providence represented his new team Anadolu Efes during EuroLeague's Media Day in Paris over the weekend. Kai spent last season in the NBA with the LA Clippers, where he got very little run, and the Dallas Mavericks, where he averaged 11.6 rebounds and plenty of dunks in 12 games. He even started 6, showing energy and tenacity. He had the opportunity to talk to the European press, who will cover him as he plays in the 2nd best basketball league in the world during Media Day. Anadolu Efes is one of the top teams in Europe, winning the Turkish League 14 times and the EuroLeague twice. They're not quite where they want to be. They missed the Turkish Super League finals last year in a league that they fully expected to win every year, and they finished 6th in EuroLeague standings with a 20-14 record. They take no nights off in Europe. They try to win every night, and Kai may be the most athletic player on one of the best teams on the continent. So look out for plenty of highlights from him. And back over to this hemisphere, top prospect got the last hit of his team's season. Arizona Diamondbacks Christian Robinson and his Reno Aces won the final game of their season, beating the Albuquerque Isotopes 3-2 thanks to his clutch hitting. The game went into extras with a 2-2 tie when Robinson came up to the plate in the top of the 10th and laced a single to center field to score the go-ahead run by Sergio Alcantara. Aces pitching shut down the Isotopes in the bottom of the 10th to secure the win. Robinson had a strong 2025, hitting .250 with a .795 OPS and 11 home runs in AA, earning himself a call-up to AAA, where he hit .262 with an elite .862 OPS and 6 home runs at minor league baseball's highest level. He also showed elite speed, swiping 34 bags in total. His standout play should all but earn him a legitimate shot to make the major league team when he shows up for camp in February. He always had the physical tools to be an elite prospect, but this year he put it all together, and he has nothing left to prove at this level. Well, that is a wrap for sports this evening. I'm Tage Adderley. Have a great evening, everyone.
When our news comes back from the break, another day filled with rain in the capital. Greg is back with your extended weather when our news continues. Stay with us.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, cultural icons, industry leaders, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone for the nation. We've tackled the biggest issues on the planet, held world leaders accountable, and given voice to the people. From politics to culture, business to the environment, no topic is off limits. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. 9 seasons strong, and we're just getting started. This is On the Record.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe.
This is our news. Welcome back. Outside of Gabrielle, we are watching 2 areas that we're going to continue to keep an eye on over the next couple of days, especially the one that's near our area. First one out there just to the northeast of the Leeward Islands. National Hurricane Center is going to give a very high chance for some tropical development in that area. There's another tropical wave that's moving towards the west. National Hurricane Center giving a medium chance for some development in our neck of the woods. So by the end of the week into early next week, we could possibly see some tropical development. Over the next couple of days, that system will continue to track towards the west, bringing some heavy showers and thunderstorms across the eastern Leeward Islands, and then into the Greater Antilles, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola by tomorrow and into Thursday. And we expect that system, as I mentioned, getting our neck of the woods by Friday. So we're asking you to continue to monitor the progress of that system. Taking a look at things in the tropics right now, we have a couple of systems out there. Let's get this started. A little advanced there. Across our area, we have showers and thunderstorms associated with that boundary still hanging out in our neck of the woods. That will continue to be with us for at least another day, but as that system, tropical wave, gets into our neck of the woods, that is going to bring us some showers and some thunderstorms. This is where those systems are located right now. One to the east actually is going to make a track towards the northwest, going to follow Gabrielle, so we're not going to worry about that one. This is the one that we're going to continue to monitor over the next couple of days. So stay informed, make sure you have your hurricane plans in order because we are still in the hurricane season. Taking a look at the future forecast across our area, isolated showers and thunderstorms with the boundaries still hanging out through Wednesday. Most of the activity staying just to the east of the island, and that will take us all the way into Thursday as that system approaches us from the southeast. Boating conditions, northwest Bahamas tonight to tomorrow, winds easterly at 10 knots, seas 1 to 3 feet actually, 5 feet in the Atlantic, and then in the central and southeast Bahamas, east to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 foot seas, but up to 5 feet along Atlantic exposures. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, we'll keep the showers in the forecast. Friday will be the determining day of what's going to happen with that system as it approaches us. But we keep some showers in the forecast early next week as that system takes a turn and makes its way away from us. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
Well, that's pretty good news, Greg. I hope Friday comes right away. I cleaned my car this morning and the rain came back down again.
You have a couple of days, but we are stuck in this wet weather pattern. So showers and thunderstorms will be in the forecast for the next couple of days.
All right. Thanks so much, Greg. All right. And with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Italia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.